we go. Hello Janet, going live. Hello Johanna, let's give you a wave. Hello Natasha, is that you that messaged me earlier, Natasha? Right, just hi up. Right, just going live. Got the backdrop of London out there. Got a little light, and yeah, let's see if right. That's it. Have a little bit. There we go. Just there. That's the one. Hello everyone. Just really, if I go over to here, just get this over here on the backdrop. Just get the neon lights in the background on. Hello Alan, how are you getting on up there? Sorry I couldn't make it, Alan. There's a protest going on in Sunderland today, and Big Bad Alan Merritt's up there holding the fort for us all. A bit of a late one tonight. Just really an update from Hyde Trace, D to the A. Hiya. Just really hello Evelina. Just an update on what went on really today. I'll just swap it round. So hang on a second. Just a little bit of an update what's happening. We're just going to get the figures up. I'm going to, one second, I'm going to swap it round. So we've got, you're looking out over London. There we go. Right, let's see if we get me on the screen. Right, got a bit of light there. Right, so a bit of an update for today. We attended a protest. I'm not too sure what the protest was about. I think it was all to do with freedom, really, or the lack of it. And initially, when I turned up, there was 5 people there: Belinda McKenzie and a couple of others there. Then Cassie turned up. Cassie Crowhurst turned up, and if you remember, I did a video in conjunction with Cassie, and it actually got 2.2 million hits. I think within a day it got 1 million hits. It just went unbelievably, I don't know, cosmic, I don't know what you call it, stratospheric. It just went boom. Since then it got 2.2 million hits, which is just a ridiculous amount. I think that means like a 30th of the population of the UK had seen it. And then all of a sudden there was a lot of loud banging, shouting and clapping, and a marching protest occurred. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over here, because if we go around, walk around there, we're going to walk down this way, because there's some fireworks going off. Get us in screen. You can get us in screen. Get us in shot. And that's it. We'll go. And what happened was, let's go over to West London, because there's fireworks going off. So there's 4th of July celebrations here. I don't know if you can see them. We'll get the backdrop of West London. Yeah, that'll do there. Just in the background you've got West London. I'll go over this way. What occurred then was a marching protest, and Piers Corbyn, you know, the former shadow Prime Minister's brother, was there. He's been arrested at the last couple of demos, and this time I don't think they nicked him. Some very strange things happened. The really weird thing that struck me was that yesterday our protest would have been illegal, and it would have been absolutely mobbed, and I mean mobbed, by the police, as the previous anti-lockdown ones have been. They've been disproportionately and quite aggressively policed. This one, there was 3 coppers there, you know, and then a group of about 5 more coppers turned up with the marching lot. So it was, you know, and there was no trouble, as there never is with these things, never any trouble, and no one got nicked. Whereas, you know, the other ones, people, they were nicking just people for just doing what we do as human beings, and that's congregate. And and you know, we're listening to Piers Corbyn, and he was basically giving the statistics regarding COVID-19 deaths, and it's just ridiculously low. And the fact of the matter is that there's been statistics from countries that haven't abided by the lockdown, and their death rate is actually, on many occasions, lower than those that have been self-isolating. So it statistically and forensically doesn't stack up anyway. It's unbelievable what this has done to people. So that was really weird, the fact that yesterday we would have been absolutely sort of harangued and then sort of jostled by the police, whereas today, nothing, absolutely nothing. And there was no disruption at all, as there won't be from the likes of us that just want to speak out against the erosion of our human rights. And Piers Corbyn was right. You know, what the police have been doing and what government's been doing, and local government, is nothing short of how the Nazis began. It's something that I've been saying from the start. This is very, very sinister what's going on. This has got nothing to do with a contagion. And how anyone can believe it's a pandemic when it's very rare if anyone knows someone who's died from it. I'm not saying it don't exist, that's not my argument. What I'm saying is, how is it a pandemic? You know, when it's a worldwide epidemic. It isn't, and it has been a lie from the start. It really has, and it's just absolutely eroded society and people's attitudes, you know, and taken the heat away from what's going on. Now, since this has been going on, you know, we have to look to America for justice to be getting done, because Jeffrey Epstein was arrested. Prince Andrew never got arrested and has got off with it, scot-free once again. Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested, so that'll be interesting to see what they're doing. So in America, we are seeing paedophiles and those paedophiles in positions of privilege and power getting arrested. We're seeing Soddle in the UK. We're seeing it hushed up, covered up, and what we're seeing are those that are speaking out to poor victims being the target of the police investigations, which is perverse, obscure, upside down, and just wrong. It's an inversion of justice. Whilst we was at the protest, a woman come up to me. She sort of looked at me and gave me a little wink like she knew me, and I think I might have seen her before. She come up, put her arm around me as to sort of like give me like a greeting hug, and as she did it, she whispered in my ear, "The police have been asking questions as to who you are, and they said to us, is that John Wedger? So just to let you know." And I was like, okay, so it now appears that I'm cropping up on Metropolitan Police public order briefings. So that will be interesting. That will be interesting to see in what light I am being portrayed. Am I being portrayed as an activist, an agitator, a hater of the police? Yes, I am an activist. No, I'm not an agitator. Am I a hater of the police? No, I'm a hater of police corruption. I'm a hater of those high up that are using their position of privilege and power to procure children, to cover up child abuse, and commit the most heinous criminality. And that really are crimes, sexual crimes against children. So yes, you're damn right I'm against that. So that was very weird, and it seems that maybe I've graduated in respect to intelligence gathering against me. I don't know, and to be honest, I don't really care. You know, I gave a speech along with many others. It was great to see so many people there. It was lovely to see the anti-5G mob, who are really speaking out against crimes against humanity, but also speaking out in respect to their fear for the next generation, the children. So to see young people in their 20s attending these demonstrations with real social and moral conscience is fantastic. It really is absolutely unbelievable. So the Brew with a view is, if this lockdown does dissolve, it may cause some issues with my access to this beautiful vista. So we need to make the most of it. It's slowly coming to an end. In some ways, I'm going to be sad because it's allowed me to do what the hell I want, and to travel really wherever I want to go without any hindrance of traffic jams. But it's been sad in many other ways how people have given away their rights, And you can look at it however you want, whether they are saving lives by staying in. I don't believe that. I don't. And I don't want to upset anyone. Yes, people have died from this, but people die anyway. You know, we get it rammed down our throats someone died from COVID-19, but what about all those that have died from suicide because they've been abused? What about all those who've died through liver complications, through alcoholism, because they've been abused? What about all the people who've died from drug overdoses, from cancer? You know, those people that have died because they've dropped into poverty, because they can't work, because they can't have a paymaster, a governor, or anything else, you know, because they see any sort of control as coercive control. What about those that have died of cancer due to repression of hidden in feelings, through anorexia, through obesity, through all these other conditions that have got their base level intrinsic sort of root in child abuse, you know? And if we was to really concentrate on that, horrific, absolutely horrific. We don't hear about people that have died on the roads, people that have died of cancer, people that died of spinal injuries, of concussion and everything else. I worked in the police for many years, as you all know. You know, constantly there were deaths. There were deaths constantly. I picked up 3 dead bodies in 2 days once. So, you know, it doesn't cut anything with me. You know, people are always going to die, and coronavirus today, and then what about tomorrow, and the time after that, and the time after that. You know, we really need. I know someone who died of BSE. You know, the mad cow disease. I know someone who died of that. We don't hear about that anymore. You know, we didn't lock everyone away when that happened, did we? It just doesn't. You know, cut it. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and it is. Cause paranoia in people and all sorts of social issues. It's wrong. It's so wrong, and I really fear that they're going to pull something out before Christmas, and it's just going to get tighter and tighter, and it's closing down our human rights. And what's that got to do with child abuse? Well, it's erosion of human rights. It's stopping us from acting in a common law sense and speaking out. And that's really what's going to go on. It will prevent from justice from getting done for crimes that really matter. So I'm very wary of what they've got planned for us. Will society go back to normal? No, it will never go back to normal. It's going to take a long time for people to have this washed out of them. You know, you walk by people now, even now they jump back. So, but it was good to see those that really care about society there. A lot of people, they're too comfortable in their lives, so therefore they don't give a toss. But let me tell you something. We've woken up today. You might not wake up. It might not bother you. It might not concern you. But I'm telling you now, it will. When you won't be able to have your all-inclusive holidays. When you won't be able to get this and get that. You know, the food is going to get affected because no one's been working the fields, picking them and all that. It's going to come. It is going to come. And it will affect you at some point. It really will. I promise you it will. So I just say to people, wake up and have a little bit of a social conscience and realising what they're doing. And at some point people will start waking up to the horror that really is child abuse. Really waking up to it. And I want the police to wake up, and I want all these serving police officers to wake up and stop hiding away and stop not speaking out, because it's not good enough. And I want to say to social workers, you know, you too need to speak up. NHS staff, you too need to speak up. You all need to grow up here and speak out about this. So that includes the women as well. All right, so that's a brief one tonight. It's getting dark now. The nights are closing in. We get a very short summer in this country. If we just take a walk over, let's just have a little look. The sun's gone down, as it would have done. I just want to have a little show you over London. 4th of July, we've got the fireworks sporadically going off here and there. A beautiful view of London, it really is. And each, you know, they go on, you know, about a recession. Each red light you see, each red light is a construction crane. You know, this is like the view of the Spanish costas back in the 1980s. You know, bear in mind, this is some of the wealthiest, most expensive real estate in the whole of the world. And look at central London, look at the cranes, move round, you know, look at the cranes. like that. You know, every red light, and it is just crane after crane after crane. You know, and we are talking billions. What's this? We are talking absolute billions. So how in God's earth is there a recession on? You know, and the construction industry never stops. And if you go down, if we look sort of down that way, well, where the eye is, the London Eye is, down over there. If you look over towards the London Eye, the Blue Eye, just south of there, it's just the South Bank, that area, they're building like mad, and near enough every tower block. Now, bear in mind, hold with both hands a minute. Bear in mind, tower blocks, they pulled them down because they caused urban alienation. They took away a community spirit. They pulled them down, these council estates, a lot of these tall flats. They've commandeered the land. The local authorities have sold the land off, which is our land, not theirs to sell off, and it's gone to private tender. And they built tower blocks, but they haven't built 10, 15 story tower blocks. They built 40 story tower blocks. So they've gone up and up and up and up. So their argument about urban alienation is total bollocks. But near enough every single tower block they built has got the company logo, and it's a Chinese logo. So the Chinese are basically buying up London, and they're buying up which once was council land, and it was social housing for people, and the people have been shipped out. They're moving them out to places like Northamptonshire, Derbyshire, Nottinghamshire, and the youth of London, you know, they're not going to be able to afford to live here. You know, it's all going to be privatised soon. This will be like Hong Kong very, very soon. And it's very sad. Very, very sad. But it's an incredible view, but it's just changed. It's totally changed. The heart of it's gone. Totally and utterly changed. So, but the pubs were open today. Managed to get 2 pints of beer in, which was good. Which was very, very good. So, anyway, I'll keep these Brew with a View going as long as I can. What have we got planned for next week? Well, maybe there will be an interview with Dr. Alia Jazz, who's the NHS's top forensic psychiatrist, stroke psychologist. He attends all murders that are disputed on mental health grounds anywhere to do with the British citizen or the Commonwealth on the globe. He's a forensic psychiatrist as well. His opinion means a lot, and he's one of the most experienced psychiatrists in the country. He has been working with us from the start. He's a tremendous guy, and he wants to give a talk about mental health and the therapy he uses. He's offering assistance to people. He's a very benevolent guy, and we're going to be talking about the effects of child abuse. So hopefully I'll have a meeting with Dr. Alia Jazz. I'll be going to Liverpool to talk to a guy called Billy in Liverpool about the abuse he endured in Bryn Allen Care Home. And then I will be travelling down to the West Country for some interviews down there. And so we're pretty much flat out at the moment. And I've got another meeting with Chris Lambriano coming up, which I'll be filming as well. So things are moving very, very fast. We're getting lots of information come in, and it's just unbelievable. We can't keep up with it. It's going totally and utterly nuts. So please, if you've got a testimony you want out there, providing it's relevant to what we do, and it's got some sort of I wouldn't say worth, because that belittles anyone's testimony that isn't, slotting in with our agenda. But as long as it's, ties in with our criteria, we'll always give you a run. So please get in touch, and then we can arrange for you to come to us or us to come to you. So until that occurs, we'll call it a day. So. Just going to show you London. I'm just going to speak out flip it round. Here we go. Let me just flip it round. Got a little torch here that I use. Although it's a bit spooky, it looks like something out of Halloween. Alright, thank you Julie for the jam. Julie sent me some lovely jam. And alright, God bless everyone. And hopefully I'll be doing another podcast in a week. Bye bye.